What is actually wrong with some set of people? Yes, there is this set of people we need to address. Most live abroad. I could understand with the ones back home. You left Nigeria. You've left the hellfire, according to you, because in your tiny brains, there is a country on earth that is heaven. There is no heaven on earth. But most of you, you left hellfire. You see some, they live in Nigeria, right? On the plane, they're already commenting, bye-bye, I will never come back again. Bye-bye to hellfire. Bye-bye to wherever. You know, they watch movies in their head. Abroad is heaven. But abroad has never been heaven. And it will never be heaven. You've left the hellfire now. You're still commenting on the hellfire you left. You begin to discover the realities in your new environment. The person that bears your anger, your frustration, because you now discover that you are not in heaven. You now discover that you can get everything you want, but it's not actually yours. You're actually paying for them until the day you die. Some of you, you'll be deceiving yourself that it's good. Your children will come and pay. Meanwhile, in that same abroad that you live, we actually have people who actually buy things outrightly. They don't buy mortgages in cars or houses or anything. They pay outrightly. Then you discover that yes, the abroad is not heaven. They give me things here, but they give me sleepless night. They give me things here, but they give me headache. Then you begin to pour your frustration on Nigeria. Is it not foolish of most of you? The moment you pick your phones, the moment you find yourself with other nationals, the moment you find yourself in a classroom, either master's, doctorate, and they ask you about Nigeria, you press this Nigeria, you strangle it, you put it on the floor, and you speak ill of it. Nigeria, this Nigeria, that failed country, failed nation. Most of you have failed in the past, and some are still failing in your various academic pursuits. Have you given up on yourself? Some of you have you failed the exams, but you've studied to pass them again. You didn't give up on yourself. Some of you come from dysfunctional homes. Your parents, with due respect, are nothing to write home about. Your fathers, your mother, but you've not given up on them. Some of you support clubs, especially the snap. Let me chuka snap fans. Yeah. You support miserable clubs, trophyless for years, but you've not given up. There is a proverb that says, "It's only a bastard that points fingers at his father's house, and it is only a fool that sets his father's house ablaze because he feels the roofs are getting dilapidated." What is actually wrong with most of you, especially you Nigerians? I've been to the UK. I've been around the US. You hardly see people from Zimbabwe. You hardly see people from Congo, Ivorians. You hardly see people from other parts of the world belittling their country. If most of you don't know how very bad the Zimbabwean currency is, the Zimbabwean dollar, you should Google it and check. But you hardly see these people speaking bad about their country. But do you know they do? But they only do that within themselves. The moment a Nigerian is involved, the moment another African is involved, the moment other nationals are involved, their country is the best. I remember there was this lady when I was in the UK. At work, she asked me, "Bro, why does this particular guy from your country, why does he always speak bad about like your country, and at times you even go to extend it to Africa?" She had to tell me that there was a day she told him that if his country is that bad, her country is not bad. Then she began opening up to me that, "Moses, how do we actually speak ill of our countries before these people here? How do we expect them to actually give us that respect? Because for every bad thing we tell them about our country, we're actually demarketing our country. At the same time, we're putting ourselves at their mercy." If you tell someone that you can't feed twice a day, if that person gives you an amount that you could feed once and you complain, he's going to remind you that after all, you don't even feed twice a day where you come from. So be grateful that I even give you money that could take you twice. That is him extorting you, but reminding you that he could give you something a little bit better because you don't have better where you come from. That is what we do. The moment we hold our phones, the moment we find ourselves in places where we could actually exalt our countries, we bring them down. Nigeria is not a human being. We are Nigerians. It is you and I that makes that entity called Nigeria. Most of you, when they are talking about Davido, when they are talking about whiskey, when they are talking about JJ Okocha, they're talking about Wale Soyinka, you claim to be Nigerian. The moment they talk about Hush Puppy, oh, you begin to say that's how they do even the politicians. You put the country down. A true Nigerian must learn to accept to be a Nigerian, both in good and in bad comments. I was once in a show and a lady accosted me in the show, and she said, "Your brothers in one particular city in US, they like to follow old fat women." I said, "Yeah, it's their choice. And even when they follow them, they break their hearts. They just use them to get papers, this and that." I said, "Yes, they do it. How about the other Nigerians who are doing well in medicine, who are doing well in nursing, who are doing well in engineering? How about those who are doing well in your sports, in your basketball here? Why not also look up to them? Why are you so fixated on only the negative and the bad news that comes from Nigeria? Why are you holding just to those Nigerians that are giving Nigeria a bad name? Why are you not juxtaposing the story? Why are you not balancing books?" I told her that if you go to the Bible, I always tell people this thing. If you're looking for a verse that says love, you will see it. If you're looking for a verse that says hate your enemy, you're going to see it. I said it is what your bias wants to hold on to that you keep holding on to. For me, I choose to see both good and bad Nigerians. And if you want to quantify me in the numbers of those bad Nigerians, it just tells the way you reason, it tells your personality. I said, how are you better than the so-called white people you call racist? The moment you don't see white people, you begin to look on other black people to be racist too. That moment you begin to know that you're black American. This one is black, is from Africa. They have this arrogance thinking that their country is the best. They live in a country that has the highest gunshots every year. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to talk about that now. They don't travel. With their little money, if they travel, they go to the Caribbeans because that's where their little dollars could take them to. Is it the ones in the UK? When they travel, they go to places like France where they could just pay £300 or Netherlands, very close. They don't travel. They don't know nothing. They don't read. They don't see beyond their noses. Then the moment you, as a Nigerian, you stand before these people, you arm them, you give them every right. Some of you upload. The height of stupidity is comparing a country of 200 years old, some countries 300, comparing them to countries that these same countries actually came to extort. They took us years backward, and you're going to say, why didn't Africa fight back? Why didn't this? Some of you will say there is no crime in overtaking. Why haven't you overtaken in your own personal life? Even when you find leaders back home that are trying to make things happen, you people are still, either you are tribal or you are myopic or you are very, very emotional to actually accept that this particular person that you did not vote for could actually do those right things. As long as I didn't vote for this person, I'm going to speak against his government till he leaves power. You don't even show how learned you are, how to actually criticize the government when they're doing well. Criticize the government when they're doing bad and give them their onions when they're doing well. We don't see that in how you guys analyze matters. Some of you are doing Bola Tinubu, you are doing Peter Obi. If Peter Obi, as long as Peter Obi is not president, there is nothing Bola Tinubu does that will ever be pleasing to your eyes. If Peter Obi had won, some of you would be doing, as long as Bola Tinubu is not president, there's nothing Peter Obi will do that would ever just look good to you. Shame on you guys. Shame. You people should grow. The moment you start seeing Nigeria, where you come from, like your family, that's the day that nation come together and move forward. I don't blame most of you. It's bad parenting. You don't have parents that actually taught you about nationhood. You don't have parents that taught you about loving your nation regardless. Did you hear me? Regardless. Whether it is here or here, regardless. I will associate with the goodness of my country, and I will not shy away from the faults of my countrymen. People who want to choose to look just on the faults of my countrymen, it is on them. Come from a country that there is both good and evil. And if you want to hold on to the evil, now you sabi. Every country has got their pros and cons. While some are developing, some have developed, and even the developed ones now are coming down because most of you don't read, you don't know. Inferiority complex smells all over you, and there is this inaccurate comparison, ignorance that flies. I'll address it and I'll end on this note. In every 10 Africans you find in a given survey outside of Africa, at least 6 are Nigerians. And you know why? It's because of our population. Nigerians are much. 250 million. That's unverified census. It should be more than that. When they were teaching ratio, you don't need to know mathematics too much to understand what ratio is. The probability of you finding one orange in a basket that is full of, in a basket of, let's say, 20 oranges and 10 apples, what's the probability of finding 2 oranges? Most of you, I'm not very good at maths, but at least I understand that. That should be understandable to most of you. If you are looking for a thief amongst those 10 Africans, and the probability of the 10 Africans, that 6 are Nigerian, if you are looking for a thief, you'll probably find a Nigerian. If you are looking for a fraudster, you'll find a Nigerian. If you are looking for a good person in those 10 numbers, you find in Nigeria. If you are looking for someone that just won a Nobel Peace Prize, you'll find in Nigeria. And that also explains to you why Nigeria does well globally. It's not like other nations don't do well. It's because our numbers are much, so our success stories are much. And that is why too, when it comes to the negative story, our negative stories too are much. It's the ratio. Some African countries, they don't even travel. You don't find them. You could go 1 month, 2 months before you find someone from Botswana in Belfast. I stayed in Belfast for some years. You could go 1 year, you've not seen someone from Mozambique, but you're going to see a Nigerian, you see a Ghanaian, you see people from Zimbabwe. So enough with this selective outrage. Let's get it off with this ignorance and this sheer shamelessness. If you have a sense of identity, and the day you finally get truly educated, I don't mean the ability to read and write, study and get masters, get PhD, scholarship. I don't mean that education. I mean pure, real native, pure education. You would see how foolish you are. But a lot of you will die like that because we've seen professors at that age who always bring down rather than amplify. A word is enough for those that have sense.